What the f is this piece of sh?
Greetings, Specimens. How goes the...
By the
Hello everyone, my name is MasterPurple, back again with my Roller 3 Deathless series, where this time, in this episode, we're going to do the Allied Deathless Co-Op challenge with my buddy from the last episode. And the same rules from last episode also apply here. So if you didn't check out that video, you should go check that out as well before watching this one. Anyways, I'll keep the intro short. Let's get right into it, shall we?
Continues to push his Soviet forces into Western Europe, seizing control of key regions left behind by the retreating.
Commander, I'm Field Marshal Robert Bingham, Chief of the Allied Military Command. I've been told that you're a very capable officer. Well, let's hope this assessment is correct, leaving the defense of Great Britain entirely in your hands. Lieutenant Ava. She will be your intel officer and communications liaison.
Field Marshal, the President is ready for you.
Mr. President, I'd like you to meet our new commander on the ground.
Greetings, Commander. You ready to send those commies running back to their mommies? The only thing standing between those godless Reds and the US of A is going to be one little ocean.
The fate of the free world depends upon it.
Brighton Beach is under siege by Soviet forces. The city must be liberated so we can bolster our defenses against additional waves. We are mustering defenses. Please make do with these peacekeepers and attack dogs for now.
So the first Allied mission is a quite interesting one. We get to defend the British Isles from the Soviet invasion. Though some Soviet forces are already here, but they're only infantry. We get peacekeepers and dogs. Do not use your dogs because they're way too fragile. Just clear the whole area with your peacekeepers because they're heroic and they can do a lot of damage. Then once you clear all of the Soviet forces, you want to build at least 10 peacekeepers too, so you should have 10 peacekeepers. Once you get those 10 peacekeepers, you don't want to build anymore. You can go and capture the hospital and the 2 guns, right? You do not want to garrison the structures, but do it for the side objective. Then once the Soviet forces arrive, they are mostly conscripts, right? So what I like to do is called a bait switch, which basically means I will hot swap from the shotgun to the shields on the peacekeepers and then the shield to a shotgun. This will make the AI use their ability where they pull the Molotov and then pull their AKs, which is a very long animation time, which gives you enough time to shoot so they do not kill any of your forces, but you can kill theirs pretty easily if you station peacekeepers up to the range where they can knock them out, right, and do a lot of damage. And then there is several mini waves which arrive from the main wave. This is where you get javelins, and you want to again get 10, not more, not less. 10 is a good round number which you can control, and it's quite easy to do. Now Here's the problem. This wave arrives with stingrays and bullfrogs, which have infantry inside. That's gonna be a problem because there's bears, conscripts, stingrays. Stingrays are Tesla weapons, which means they one-shot your infantry, and you have nothing else but infantry. Though, one solution I have found is go to your peacekeepers and switch them all to your shotgun. And make them all attack the guns, the Brigton coastal guns, the enemy, so they are distracted completely. Once the troops that are not designated to attack the Brigton coastal guns go after you and you kill all the stingrays and bears and everything. Once you do that, you can then clear them off because they will not switch to your units if they attack them, right? And once you clear that wave off, then it's the final wave, which is the easiest, is the Kirovs. You, again, build 10 FIVs and just kill the Kirovs. Pretty easy. Though, the second wave is kinda difficult, but I still rate this mission pretty easy one, if you can, you know, micro it. The second Allied mission is also really interesting because we're in France and we must save some Allied leaders. There's also a Soviet base to the east and there's some dreadnoughts that they're protecting that base, which we must both destroy. This mission can be done in a certain way, which is not conventional, but it is an interesting way. The commander should liberate the Vindicators, and once you do that, destroy the dreadnoughts with the Vindicators instead of doing the spy thing altogether. It won't skip it that, but it will make it a whole lot easier to, you know, destroy the Soviet base so that the co-commander can help you with the spy thing. The actualls won't be dragged into it, and you have to be only careful of a couple of units that are anti-air, which are the bullfrogs and the flag troopers. The co-commander should be focused on saving the leaders and destroying the Soviet base while you're liberating the Vindicators. The Guardian tank is especially good at this because it has a laser point ability. When it marks an enemy unit, it makes its armor less effective, thus making it easier to destroy. Once you save the Allied leaders, you should destroy the Soviet base. And once the Soviet base is done, you should do the spy thing with the commander, and it should be pretty simple.
The Soviets don't know we're here yet, so we should lay low and escort these MCVs upriver. Then set up a foothold by building a base for an assault on the Soviet headquarters. If possible, try not to destroy too much of the city, Commander.
And now we're in Heidelberg, Germany, where we must destroy the Soviet forces here, and also destroy the Soviet HQ that has been set up in the castle nearby. But we must get there first, with our MCVs and our Riptides that are filled with troops. So do the first part normally as you do. You have to be careful with the Hardy-Rolls and the Dolphins. And then the next part where you're setting up the base is actually the interesting part. So now, there is two different ways you can do the first part. The first is to get Tanya and capture the Soviet MCV while you're at it, or use your Riptides and Javelin combo with your laser lock on your javelin so you can destroy the super reactors and the barracks faster than normal. Once you clear the first part of the Soviet base, the war factories are going to be a bit of a problem because of their sickles, hammer tanks, terror drones, a whole lot of problems. So again, javelins, Riptides, and some Guardian tanks so you can secure yourself the way in. Once you've destroyed that area and the super reactors, you want to prepare. You can also put a prospector there and get some refineries there so you get extra cash, but be careful because there's an APOC on the hill nearby, so you don't want to aggro that thing. It does a lot of damage and it's iron current, so you can't kill it. For the last part of the base, where the iron current is, you want to again be careful, and you want to use combos with your co-commander so you can actually destroy the base. Use the laser paint marker on the Guardian tank, use the javelins, just use everything to destroy the Tesla coils because they're very deadly against infantry and can destroy your tanks in 2 shots. And if there's 2 of them, then they can one-shot it, thus sending a run entirely. Once you pass the whole base and destroy the iron current, now is the easier part, because you can use, while I was talking about this, you should build an airfield, like do it. It will make your life easy, because the Vindicators are really good against those Tesla coils and will actually be enough to destroy the villa or the HQ that the Soviets have. But there's flak cannons, so I wouldn't recommend it, but you can risk it. It's just that I won't recommend it because, you know, the run is at risk, and the fact that there's APOCs and hammer tanks, so risk and you can gain the victory.
The day of destiny has arrived. The Empire of the Rising Sun has risen. The Western barbarians will bow before us, or their nation.
This is unbelievable. While we were busy fighting the Red Menace, this Empire of the Rising Sun was secretly preparing for war. Now they are at our very doorstep. Some of our diplomats have been in negotiations with them regarding a ceasefire, as it's clear that neither one of us can defeat this new enemy alone.
That we're negotiating a peace treaty with the commies?
Actually, it's more of a ceasefire.
Bullpucky. You know those Russians can't be trusted. They hate everything we stand for. Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, apple pie. Did I say freedom? Well, it's worth saying again. You're making a very big mistake, my friend. You mark my words.
The Empire believes it is their divine destiny to wipe us off the face of the earth. Prove them wrong, Commander.
We're heading to Gibraltar to reclaim our port from the Japanese. I trust these Reds about as far as I can throw them.
The Japanese Empire has taken control of our vital port at Gibraltar. The Soviets and the Allies will be working together on this one. Hopefully that will be enough to liberate this crucial waterway.
Woo, baby! That's chilly!
This is not cold. I once swam Siberia's Lena River. Now that is cold.
Why, you little... Commander, permission to speak freely. I hate that chick.
Oh, Tanya, when will you learn? From Mother Russia's bosom spring soldiers who are superior in every way. And I am the greatest of these.
This is the first mission where we fight the Empire of the Rising Sun as allies, and this time we have befriended the Soviets so that we can liberate Gibraltar together. This is an important port for the Soviets and allies. So, the first part is quite simple. Use garrisons, use shield crates, just be careful, and that's it. The second part, where you're building a base, is where it gets interesting, because we get a certain unit, the cryocopter. As you know, the cryocopter is a helicopter that has a shrinking rate and a freeze rate. That's very good for protection, and really good in this case because we're trying to not lose any unit and eliminating the threat without actually killing the unit and making every unit that can kill a cryocopter less of a threat if we just shrink it, thus reducing the firepower of the units. Once you get a lot of cryocopters, you want to use them, and twin blades as well, because this mission is the first mission where you can actually use the twin blade cryocopter combo well, and it combines so well, so you don't have to capture any building or anything, you just have them presented to you. Use the cryocopter twin blade combo through the entire mission, and use the orbital drop as well as the Soviet player. Though, be careful, the Desolator drop and the surgical strike have a little bit of a problem that we have discovered during this run. For some reason, every time a surgical or a Desolator drop has been called in, and the planes that get hit, they get hit by anti-air, they will count as deaths once they disappear, which is not good. So every time you use a surgical strike, that counts as a death. So through this entire run, we couldn't use surgical strike or Desolator drop. The only way that we could, bombard the enemy was through orbital and freeze ray. So just so you know, no surgical Desolator drop through this entire run, and the Soviet one as well, because it will count as a death for some reason, and that's the entire mission. The next mission where we fight the Empire of the Rising Sun is in the Atlantic Sea, where we have to destroy a floating monstrosity of a fortress. Though first we must get there. First we have to destroy some radar ships with Natasha and Tanya. There will be 2 different islands, 2 different stages. So let's get right into it. So the first stage is quite simple. Spies and Natasha. Be careful with Natasha and your spies. Always have them disguised because there's no anti-spy detection. So you should be all cleared. Though one tip I would recommend to do on this island is to destroy every single one of those anti-ships that are patrolling the waters. Well, they're just standing there, but destroy them with Natasha and you should be all good. Next stage is with Tanya and some Soviet engineers, where you have to capture the power plants. So you disable the guns so you can get to the radar ship. Again, for this one you don't want to destroy the ships around the radar ship because it'll be dangerous for Tanya because she doesn't have a ranged attack. She has to deal with infantry, though there is 3 cache crates around the island. I would, again, if you're playing with another player, get yourself 2, and for the Soviets give them 1, and there you go. But if you're playing with AI, you always take all of them. So another tip for the Soviets as well is you want to once the power plants are captured, all of them, and Tanya destroyed the radar ship, the sequence where the Japanese investigate is disabled, so you can sell off the power plants and get extra cash. So do that. Then we get to the fortress part, where we have to assault the fortress. Though it is quite hard because it's a massive structure that has a lot of defenses. So here's a little neat trick I found in this mission. Since there's a lot of scripts in the mission, we have learned to exploit them. So for some reason, the attack that is scripted to come in with 2 battleships and tsunami tanks and all that bunch of stuff is sequenced to happen once the Allied player has a naval yard, but not the Soviet one. If the Soviets build a naval yard, nothing happens because it's also scripted for it to be, if it's the AI and if it's a multiplayer, it's still same scripts, right? So exploit that as you will, but you don't have to if you want, to clear in the most legitimate way possible. But use that to your advantage, because you can use dreadnoughts, twin blades, actuall to clear off the navy. Once the navy is clear, you can get some of the aircraft carriers which get unlocked in this mission, and Centurion bombers. But Centurion bombers are gonna be useless because they're fat and they don't have much health, and their bombs are kind of useless, and their ability to power up again kind of useless because Fortress is laced with a lot of anti-air. They have rocket angels, they have Tengus, they have King Onis, which again you still have to destroy. But now with Centurion bombers we're gonna be using a lot of aircraft carriers because the drones don't count as deaths, so they're pretty good in this run. So just exploit the first thing that I said about the naval yard, and then destroy all the naval presence they have, and then get a lot of aircraft carriers for the base, decimate the defenses, go in there and capture the power cores, thus making the fortress explode.
It looks like the President has gone rogue on us. This is just so hard to believe. Nevertheless, we have a job to do, Commander. Take out the communications tower before he transmits an order to fire.
Now we're in the USA, where the US President threatens to destroy Moscow with his secret weapon in Mount Rushmore, which we must destroy. But first we must kill the President of the United States, but there's the problem. If we kill him, the weapon fires, and that's not good, so we have to do it gently. First we must destroy the relay station, that if he relays the codes, the weapon fires, not good. Destroy the relay station, and then the base building part, which is the most interesting part, always. So, you as a commander, you want to build the quadcopters so that you can entrap the president in ice so he doesn't move around, and activate the heads that shoot lasers out of their eyes. Unfortunately, we will have to be forced to activate him later, but that's for the side objectives and not currently in the motion of progress. The problem is a damn base that he has. It's big, it has power plants, it has prism towers, it has Mirage tanks, FIVs, Guardian tanks, and did I mention the laser shooting eye heads? Alright, well, you want to destroy the base defenses with Vindicators and the missile defenses as well, so you can go to the back of the base so you can destroy power plants. Once all the power plants are destroyed, you can move in with your ground force if you have it, or just use Vindicators for the entire mission, because easy peasy lemon squeezy, am I right? Anyway, once you destroy the base, but do not destroy the main building if you didn't do the side objectives. Here's another problem. Do not capture the control nodes before the president can activate them. If you do, the script just gets fricked and you won't be able to do the side objective at all, and you will probably lose a unit because the head hits activated, and it doesn't matter if it's been captured or not at that case. Once the side objective bubble pops up, then you capture, so you have engineers at standby at those nodes. Once all the side objectives are completed, then you can destroy the main power building that has a super weapon, and then kill the president, which will allow us to move on to the next mission.
Commander, that was a close one. I can assure you, we did the right thing. Ackermen put the whole world in danger with that mad stunt. And all the while, we're at war with the Empire of the Rising Sun.
Sir, I just received word from an inside source that the Supreme Shogunate will be meeting in Tokyo tomorrow.
So the Empire's generals will all be in one place at one time?
Yes, sir. We can decapitate them with one stroke.
Brilliant. We must get on this immediately. I'll contact the Soviets, let them know the good news. Commander, this might be it. Let's show the Empire of the Rising Sun that their divine destiny of world domination is nothing but an insane fantasy.
I'm glad to see you made it back in one piece, Commander. Excellent job at Mount Rushmore. I trust you're good to go?
You can flirt with the commander later, Lieutenant. Right now, we have a job to do.
I wasn't flirting, sir. I was just, making conversation. We only have one shot at this, and it's not going to be easy. But with the Soviets' help, we should be able to take out the Empire of the Rising Sun for good. The Soviets are en route, but you're going to have to hold the ground until they arrive.
Finally, it is time to destroy the Empire of the Rising Sun for good. We're gonna get teleported into Tokyo, where there will be a fully established base there. However, there is some recommendations to this, because you want to specify in certain areas. The commander should specify on ground, and the co-commander on air. The commander should get about 10 Guardian tanks, one on laser paint mode, so he can demolish all the nanocores that arrive. The co-commander should focus on the side objective. He needs 2 Vindicators for the turrets, and 4 Vindicators times 2, or aka 2 airfields filled with Vindicators for the docks. Once that's finished, the main problem will arrive, where the super weapon shoots. There's 3 of them, so 3 shots. So you want to garrison your infantry. You want to make sure that nothing is directly in the blast zone. Everything will be half HP except the infantry. Infantry will die. And you also want to sell some buildings so that you can get extra cash, because once those buildings are destroyed, your Vindicators will die, and you don't want that. You want to preserve the Vindicators as much as possible. You want to have a airfield queued up so that your Vindicators survive, because if they don't have any bombs, they will slowly die. You don't want that. Now, who should teleport on the other side? That's debatable, but in this case, the co-commander teleported and the Vindicators followed. So, once that's done, you want to build up a base. Now, here's the tricky part. There should be a path where you should focus on certain bases. Now, we did it a bit differently in the replay, or in the game, but my recommendation is this. First Naomi, so that the entire naval space is cleared off of the Shogun battleships and those kinds of things, so they are no longer a threat. So clear the dock area, then clear the middle, and then the most problematic part is the super weapons, because for some reason EA likes to stack a lot of stuff on those wave force cannons, and you don't want to lose any units there. It is a really tough area. You can also harass the top base and the island base, but I digress. It is up to you, but I recommend docks first, then middle area, aka the dojo area. Help out with the super weapon area, then harass the island and let the co-commander deal with the top base. Once Tatsu arrives with his fleet, you want to just obliterate with cryocopters, Vindicators, cryo shots, everything that you got. You can also use your chronosphere to teleport the ships onto land so they get destroyed immediately. That is also a recommendation to do. I would recommend using the chronosphere as a teleporting, as it is main intended. Just use it offensively, just to teleport units around and to destroy them. That's it. And once you destroy every building, that's the entire mission.
You're going to have to look around and see what you can find. Employ your spies to avoid detection.
Time to investigate the Soviets. They've been awfully quiet, and after their little betrayal in Tokyo once they didn't arrive, we must see what happened. Dr. Zelensky suggests that they are delivering weapons to Cuba, where they're doing something with them. We don't know. We will investigate, right? So the first part of the mission is quite simple. You do it however you wish. But as you can see on the screen, we did it like this. So if you want to copy us, you can, but there is no, other setup that is not correct for this one. But we did it in a way that it can help out in capturing the Soviet buildings and that kind of stuff. But you don't need to do it in the successful, to make it successful, right? So, once we discover that, oh shit, they're building kilos with big bombs, very bad, not good, oh well. Yeah, we have to kill those kilos. The co-commander should focus on those kilos and Navy. You, however, should focus on land, and air interceptions. Apollos are really good. 2 airfields full Apollos, amazing. You want to deal with those MiGs quickly and those kilos so they don't escape. So the first airfield or arena you want to destroy is the first one we were shown, right? That Mirage tank, you want to place it behind the arena, AK, so that the enemy troops don't see it. The Mirage tank does the same damage as a normal Mirage tank, so quite a lot of damage against structures. Then once you destroy that arena, you can move on to the next one, which is the bottom one, like next to the war factory and the grinder. That one, you want to destroy that one. Funny trick we have discovered, or at least I did, was that when the Mirage field is up, the Soviet forces won't attack you at all. But once it's down, then they attack. So that's throughout the entire mission. I think it is a modification in the campaign, I'm not sure, but the unit acts like that. So if your Mirage tank is under attack, just make sure that you use the Mirage field as often as you can. So once you destroy the first arena, use the Mirage cloak field thing to the next one, and then once you're ready, uncloak and destroy that one too. And then have it cloaked forever, because you can destroy the middle one if you're feeling risky or you want to risk it. You can. I'm not sure if you can, but you can give it a try. Then the next one is the main base one, which is the most problematic one, because there's a lot of advances. There's dreadnoughts, which are really annoying, because the co-commander will get attacked by 2 of them, one from the bottom and one from the top. They're really deadly, and if you lose a prospector by accident and you don't know if the dreadnought came by, then kind of complicated and really problematic. So have some aircraft carriers, some hydrofoils with gun jammers, and some assault destroyers so you can deal with them. You can also expand if you wish, but again, it's not really necessary, but I would recommend it for extra cash. Main base arena now that should be dealt by the commander with Athena cannons. And by the way, if you didn't, here's a tip: you want to capture those 2 APOC tanks that are in the last area of the first part of the mission. You want to capture those. They're going to come in really useful. Also, combining Soviet technology, you can get bunkers, and those bunkers are really good. You can get flak troopers in them, so you can deal with air and anti-tank. And for infantry, I would just recommend Peacekeeper Speckham or anything. Really, just deal with everything, but Athena cannons for the arena and aircraft carriers for the sea. And the last arena is the little corner one, which isn't really difficult. You can just get a few bombers and that's it. or you can, you know, again, combine Soviet technology and destroy that way. There's a lot of ways you can destroy these arenas, but Athena cannons for the main Soviet one, and the rest is quite simple because, again, Mirage tank.
You caught them by the short and curlies, Commander. They didn't know what hit them. Well, it looks like everything Zelensky said was true. I can hardly believe it myself. Those treacherous Russians are to blame for everything that has happened in this war. The only thing that matters now is the complete and utter destruction of the Soviet Union. Chudenko and Krukov have concentrated all their forces in the one place they believe is impregnable. The Peter and Paul fortress in Leningrad. Bring it down, Commander. Make them pay for their lies and betrayal.
We're shrinking down some MCVs to run through the strong Soviet resistance. Set up a base deep inside their territory so we can use the chronosphere to move in some forces.
Now we're finally on to the last mission of the Allied campaign, where we must destroy the St. Peter and Paul fortress in Leningrad, whilst the Premier is trying to escape with a rocket that has been built inside the church in the middle. Though first we must sneak in our MCVs with some Mirage tanks. Our cryocopters shrunk them so that they can get in easily, but be careful with your Mirage tanks. They're really fragile, but they can do a lot of damage. They're basically glass cannons. Then, once we discover that the Premier is trying to escape into space with his little rocket in the middle of the map, and then it gets ion current. So we have to destroy the ion currents. The first one for the commander side is quite simple, just rush in with Mirage tanks and that's it. For the co-commander, however, the whole other side is so easy for a reason. So, you can build a naval yard on this map and then upgrade to max so you can get an aircraft carrier. Then move that aircraft carrier to the middle where the ion current effect is, and then the aircraft carrier will be affected by it, which means no other unit can destroy it. Those drones as well do not count as unit losses, so that means you can snipe every single iron current on the map without moving the unit, which is crazy. You can do it for the other side too if you move it around and be careful. But again, I digress. Just to move Mirage tanks for the Twin Blade Mass Swarm that's in the airbase area. Just get FIVs, Apollos, and there is a line that they do not cross unless there's way too many of them. Then they will cross it into your base and try to destroy it. Also be careful of Kirovs. There's a lot of Kirovs in this area and they will try and destroy your base. Just be careful. Garrison some javelins in those garrisons so you can destroy the Kirovs way better and quicker. Yeah, let's get back on the track. Twin Blades, really scary. Apollos, FIVs, Javelins, all of them are accountable and you can use them. Though, be careful, there's a Natasha who her priority is to attack with the pilot snipe, which counts as a unit loss, which you don't want. First, deal with her with cryocopters. But be careful of MiGs. Once again, FIVs, Apollos, those things, take care of it. But get some Athena cannons, more Mirage tanks, FIVs. Just get those things first. And don't get Tanya, she's useless. And also you can get the Centurion bombers for the last part so you can bombard the middle part of the map, or aka the church launching thing. Once you destroy all the iron currents, you're free to destroy the base, aka the church, and there you go. But don't use Tanya because she may die. Be careful. Again, he used cryocopters, but that doesn't really work because the shuttle has been built to withstand cold temperatures in space. So, you know, that logic. So, you know, just get a lot of, you know, Centurion bombers to decimate that thing into oblivion, and that should be it. And now you have come to the end of the video. I hope that the video was not so dreadful to watch as the last one. But once the series is done, which will be soon, because I plan to do the Empire campaign this summer and make the video this summer, so it won't be as, you know, long of a wait as this one from the last one was. I have to thank Rune Guy once again for being the second player of this campaign run. Deep thanks to him. He was the co-commander, like I said. He is, you know, a great guy, great strategies. Really thankful for him. Anyways, hopefully, again, this video was not so dreadful, that you can hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and maybe even comment for the, you know, algorithm boost, so that more people can find this channel and help me out. If we can reach 100 subscribers, I'll be doing weekly uploads, so that means random shit that I do. Okay? Well, anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoy your day, have a good time, and please do not be like me and postpone this type of thing for 11 months. Okay? Do not be like me. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Battle Control terminated.
Now what the hell is this? Man, if you don't cut that shit out.